After years of dealing with her own health struggles and not getting the help that she needed or could afford at the time, Jess took it on herself to become what she was looking for. She's now a certified health coach and level 2 integrative health practitioner that works on holistically balancing the body from a root cause perspective. She primarily works with women virtually and worldwide, supporting them fully in their gut function, energy, weight, and hormonal imbalances, and allowing them to be empowered in their body, alive with a sense of purpose and feeling youthful. You're listening to the Women's Empowerment Podcast, and this is episode 233. Welcome back to the Women's Empowerment Podcast. I am very excited to welcome our new and special guest. Please join me in welcoming Jess to the show. Thank you so much for being here today.
I love being here with you.
You know, I have to say, it's cool when we make connections with empowered women online, and then even cooler when I get to meet you in real life, which I got to only a few short months ago. I have to say, you are just as incredible in person as you are online. So I'm very, very happy to have you as part of the show.
Thank you. I loved our little walk and talk.
Our walk and talk in the pouring rain and a dreary day, but it was perfect. I was so warmed up after that. I'm like, I needed to delayer and like have a shower, but it was great. And I mean, the conversations that we got to having, not just in person, but also over the last, I don't know, I guess I've known you for a year now, have been really great. And I love all the things that you share online. I mean, you work so closely with all different kinds of women on their health and on their wellness journeys. And I know that part of this is because of your own journey and the things that you've been through. So maybe we could start with just learning a little bit more about you and how you got into doing what you do.
Okay. I have to let's go back about 10 years ago. My journey started consciously when I was trying to become pregnant. And I thought I would just come off the pill and I would get pregnant. And I didn't even get my cycle back for a year and a half. And I'd been on the pill for since I was 14, it was just like the cure for all. I had bad cramps and I had bad skin and I was playing sports and it was getting in the way. And so that's what I did. And fast forward to 28 years old, I was still on it. And so yeah, it took a year and a half and just to get my cycle back. And then even then it wasn't consistent and all that stuff. So I started at IIN. That's the What does that stand for now? Integrative Institute for Integrative Nutrition. That's what that stands for. Based out of New York. And I took that course and started kind of helping myself with that process. And then it got to the point where it was getting quite stressful. And so I got some functional medicine doctors on board and acupuncturists and kind of just started creating my own health team. And with my own knowledge, we kind of pulled that together and I got pregnant. And then after that, all seemed really well. And my second pregnancy came really easy. But in that pregnancy, we decided to move across the world and it became then quite stressful. I ended up having a C-section because I had a breech baby. It wouldn't turn. And I ended up spending a lot of my pregnancy like upside down on my head trying to get that turn happening and it didn't happen. So I had a C-section, which was a huge fear of mine. So the stress was just like amplified even more. And all went well though. And at 4 months, my baby had a injury to a normal routine vaccinations. It didn't go well for him. And he started breaking out in a rash, started on his head. I thought it was cradle cap and it just went to all over his body. And he was so swollen. It was the middle of winter. Like we couldn't put jackets on, toques on, like anything. And that is what actually sent me into like the next spiral of like looking into his health. And he was a breastfed, healthy baby to that point, as far as I knew. So it was trying to heal him, where then I took my next certification with IHP, Integrative Health Practitioner. And I did a level 2 in that so that I could read functional medicine labs and kind of had to become my own doctor because I wasn't getting the support I needed. My boy was just struggling from dermatologist to doctor to even naturopath wasn't doing anything. And we did some like pretty severe stuff to help him. And it was just nothing. Not once was like his gut health mentioned and all this stuff. And I started questioning, like, why, what are you talking about this? And like, I just needed to know more. So I started this journey, and within that, we eventually got him better after a year and a half. But then that took me spiraling down because the stress levels were really high. We had started a new business. That's why we had moved. Financially, we were struggling. I had 2 kids on my own. I had no community. Our environment was completely different. We left from like a sunny outdoor environment to like a winter, very cold indoor environment. And I didn't even know how to parent in that. And the compounded everything sent me into a very spiraling depression and burnout. And I literally just could not get out of bed. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. So that's an autoimmune disease. And yeah, that was my rock bottom. I was studying. I'd like have the 2 kids on my own like all day. And then as soon as they went to bed, I was studying till kind of like 1 in the morning every night. And then I was up with 2 kids. They still weren't sleeping through the night. So it was the broken sleep. You can just see how everything's piling up on each other. And then you're left with like a mama that's got nothing left to give. And so the IHP course really did help me. And when you're experiencing something, it lands like so much deeper, right? Because you need to help yourself. And that's where it took me today. And we've reversed the Hashimoto's. I no longer have problems with my thyroid. My son is doing well. I have energy. I can work out all the time. Like all these things. Like I couldn't even walk up my stairs without being like, you know, be like 8 a.m. And I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I've got nothing left. And I've got 2 little boys to look after. So all that's good now. And, it took time and it took investment in education and stuff, but we're here. And now I got to help everybody else.
Wow. I didn't even know all of the full extent of your story and your journey. And I have to say, I'm so grateful. And I'm sure you can say that too. I'm so grateful that you invested in your health and your education to support not only you, but your family and now other women and other people in the world. And I mean, it's tough when you have to go through those depths
Mm.
and, but you've become this person that you are today, this healer and this holder of space and this evidence for other people to say, like, this is possible or this is what's possible. I am very inspired, and I'm sure those who are listening are feeling the same way. Like, just wow. Wow. And in the same breath, I feel like people who do go through, those deeper, transformative, growing situations, even though they can feel very challenging in the moment, they are the people who make the best healers sometimes. So, because you get it, you really get it where people are coming from. And so when people come to you with their pain and their struggles and kind of their loss of what's the word? Not purpose, but like, what am I gonna do? I've tried everything. Now what? You're almost at this brink of like, I need to give up, but you didn't. And that's incredible because I feel like a lot of people would going through those
There,
things.
yeah. I mean, there were definitely times where I was lost for answers, right? But something in me kept going. Like really didn't accept what was being handed to me in life.
And I am so glad that you did not accept it because look at where you are and look at what you're doing. And I've got to say, again, just watching everything that you post and all the things that you share and showing your own lifestyle, your own practices, the changes that you've made in your life and seeing how you're able to enjoy every moment of it is pretty incredible. Now, you are a wealth of knowledge and information and experience. I'd love if we could talk about some of the actionable steps or the actionable ways that we could elevate our health and wellness today. Like, how can we start by making simple changes just today?
Okay. I think simple is the key. Like I wanted to give you, we can overcomplicate health. We can. And in actuality, it's quite simple. And I think that the problem is we just want to like do all the things all at once when really a lot of us just need to do less. We just need to connect more to ourselves and what's around us and, people and nature and things that are naturally there and not worry about all the rest in the beginning and then you build up. But I think that foundation, like building the foundation is really important and simple. So, first one I'm going to say is morning light. Waking up, not looking at your phone first thing, and just going out and catching the sun in your eyes. And that actually helps you go to sleep better as well at the end of the day. And it's just a really nice way to start the day. It's a nice ritual for me. I like to just go out on my balcony, look at the sun, look at the mountains, and obviously that's a bit harder seasonally for us in Canada when it's not light until 8 o'clock, 8:30. But do it when you can. Do it as much as you can when you can. And if you can do it with bare feet on a natural surface, even better.
Yeah, this is the one I really need to work on because my phone is my alarm and I really try. I turn off my alarm and my goal is to stay off my phone for 1 hour. Mind you, I get up really early in the morning when there isn't much light. The days are getting longer
Mhm.
noticeably, which is exciting. So I have found that if I busy myself with things such as emptying the dishwasher, making myself a healthy breakfast, just anything that doesn't involve my phone, I feel so much better throughout the entire day than even if I just spend 15 minutes on my phone checking something, scrolling something, whatever it is. It's a game changer for sure. So I love this one.
Yeah, it really is. Second, I want to talk about walking. Before you start, doing CrossFit, doing HIIT, doing all these things, just walk. Try and get 10,000 steps a day. It's actually a lot of walking. It does build up like nicely through the day if you're intentional about it. But walking lowers stress, it supports your metabolism. If you can do it out in nature, you get that extra hit of, connection to everything, life. It's great for weight loss. If that is a focus for you, it's great to talk to a friend, listen to a podcast, listen to nothing. It really is like just time for yourself. So I love walking.
I'm jumping in again because this is such a popular part of I run a 21-day challenge once a season. And a lot of people choose walking or 10,000 steps a day or something where they're getting outside. And the benefits of the walking and being outside alone are so impactful. And then to do this with a group of other women who are also working toward it, it's pretty cool to watch how excited people get and how that 10,000 steps definitely gets easier to do. But I will say, because I've done this myself, is that it takes effort to walk 10,000 steps a day if you're not someone who is always walking. Even for myself, if I'm teaching 6 hours a day, I still don't get 10,000 steps and I'm on my feet for 6 whole hours. So there is a little bit of effort to put into it, but the benefits are exponential, especially if you can do it outside of. So I love this one.
Yeah. And
And
it
it's
also really
free.
helps. Yeah. And it's free. It's
Yeah.
totally free. So is the first one, morning light, free, walking, free. It takes me about an hour and a half to get 10,000 steps. And so I feel like if you can break it up, do like one really early in the morning and then one after night. And if you can do it after meals, it really helps with blood sugar. That's what I was going to say. Really helps lower your blood sugar quite quickly after a meal. And it like gets your digestion going, gets you back into that parasympathetic mode, which is important for digesting food. So even if you have like a lot of bloating, walking is great after meals.
Yeah, this is so great. I'm so excited about all of these. Okay, what's number 3?
Okay, number three was nature, but I feel like you've kind of gotten like I'm a nature junkie, and anything that you can do outside in nature is just soul giving, right? So I'm going to switch that one from nature. I'm going to switch it to hydration because, again, free. You can get a water filter, and I highly suggest that, but it's a pretty low cost in terms of like how you use it, right? You use it every day, all day long. You need about, what's the weight ratio? If you are 140 pounds, you need 2 liters of water. So take that up or down depending on your weight. And then if you sweat and if you have caffeine, you need more. And if you try and get that much water in your day, you would be amazed at how much less cravings you have, how much more energy you have, how clearer you feel in your brain. And again, just so simple. It's there for all of us. And we're anybody listening to this podcast, we're really lucky just to have that at our disposal, right?
Totally. Two things. So I've become a bit of a filtered water snob, and I really dislike, I mean, listen, I'm going to choose water over filtered water if I need water, but just learning about what the heck is in tap water or bottles of water. Yeah. So
It's
anyway, so
nasty.
it's gnarly for sure. So I definitely recommend, if possible, to get some sort of water filtration. Do you have a favorite that you recommend?
I love and use the Berkey. And speaking about water snobs, even my kids are water snobs because I've always used it. And so then they can tell when we go to a restaurant or whatever, somebody else's house, they're like, this isn't filtered.
That's so
Guys.
funny.
Oh man.
I won't say anything, but I can definitely tell because we travel a lot. So, I mean, you lose a lot of luxuries when you're traveling. And that's just one of them. But
Totally.
the other thing I was going to say is Craig, my partner, bought me, it's called a Hydrate Spark, and it's a water bottle. I'll link it in the show notes. But he got one for himself, and then he ended up buying one for me for my birthday. And I think I've had this for over 2 years now, this water bottle. It measures how much water you drink in a day, and it'll tell you on your phone. So you don't have to carry around those gross plastic giant water bottles that say you drink a million liters of water today and are full of plastic. Anyway, but what's cool about this is that, it's obviously like a decent size. If you can see it, it's 620 milliliters or 21 ounces. So I don't have to fill it up that often, but I probably drink just a little over 3 of these bottles a day, sometimes more. And it's really encouraged both Craig and I to drink more water. And before he met me, he said he rarely drank water. He'd probably drink a bottle of water at the gym a day. He goes to the gym every day. Then he would drink probably 2 lattes a day, like venti size lattes. And so I was like, and you need more water from that. And he drank Coca-Cola with his meals. And I've got to tell you, he rarely drinks Coca-Cola anymore. He has one coffee that I know of a day, and he is pretty consistent with drinking the correct amount of water for his body. And both of us talk about all the time how I don't know what life was like before. I don't know how we were living, how our bodies were functioning, how our brains were functioning without drinking the correct amount of water. Because now, when we don't reach that water goal in a day, we notice, oh man, I didn't drink enough water today. Oh man, my energy is down. Oh man, I have this brain fog. And we know people who don't drink water, and we just think, how are you functioning as a human being? I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Can I give your listeners a few more tips with water?
Please.
Upon waking, when you're looking at that sun, put a little bit of Himalayan, Celtic, Redmond's salt in your water, and you want to be able to taste it, like enough to just taste it. Like start with a quarter of a teaspoon. If you can't taste it, add another quarter. And then do half a lemon. Stir that up. That's electrolytes. That's natural potassium and sodium. We need that to hydrate the cells in our body. If you're drinking too much water, you're just going to be constantly peeing, right? We don't want that, is that you lose minerals in that. So by adding that, it also helps your adrenals, helps your cellular hydration, and gets you going to the bathroom as well. And then also drink room temperature or warm water if you can. Cold water, think of cold. Cold is constricting, right? Warm is relaxing. That's what it does to the inside of your intestines too. So if you're having a hard time digesting, everybody here drinks, like we used to live in Australia where room temperature water is normal, and then coming to Canada, everyone drinks ice in their water all the time, even in winter. And it's so crazy. And I know that's a hard habit to kind of change, but just try it. Your body will thank you. And the other one was to drink your water separate from your meals. So we have stomach acid that breaks down our food. We want that to be really strong prior to a meal, right? That's going to help us break everything down, not get bloated, and be able to form good poops. I just talk about poop like it's a very good indication of our health. So we're just gonna put it out there in the open.
I love it. Let's
Um,
do it.
but if you're gonna drink too much water, it breaks down that acid, just makes that whole process like a little bit longer and harder. And so drink your water before a meal, give a half an hour space. You can like sip water through a meal, that's totally fine, but don't like be guzzling it. And then in between, like an hour after your meal, like at the between 10 and 11, drink a lot of water. Between like 1 and 4, drink a lot of water. And try and be done kind of roughly by dinner for sure, so that you're not feeling like you need to go to the bathroom through the night.
These are awesome. I am very excited. And I'm going to make a note here. I'm going to link to all of this information and some of the products that you've been mentioning in the show notes page, which for your episode will be at valerielivinglife.com/Jess.
Okay, let's talk about number 5. So sounds cliche, kind of sounds really like simple, but it's presence. And I find that, we get so busy and so stressed and so much on our to-do list that we just lose presence and noticing like a touch, a smell, a tear running down your cheek, an open door, just being there for a conversation, like really being there without the list running in the back of your head. I think all this stuff just brings immense gratitude into life. And I think this is why we're here. We're here for this. We're not here to, I know the dishwasher needs unloading. I know like all that has to happen, but like, next time your partner reaches out his hands, like feel that. Or your child like puts their hand on your face or even just says mama or, like feel it, be there for it. Like, and it's really easy not to do. And it's really easy to do.
Yeah, a lot of these things are really easy to do and really easy not to do. And that is important to remember because as we're listening to you describe all of this wonderfulness, and it is simple, and we're excited about it today, and then tomorrow comes and the phone is there and it's dark in the morning and we don't want to be present and and the water's there, but we don't drink it. Yeah. It's so easy to do. And I think reminding yourself of that in that moment, I can drink the water right now. It's easy. Just do it. Yeah.
And it's choosing your heart, right? Like, is it harder to drink the water or is it harder to have brain fog and be hydrated all day? Dehydrated all day. Is it harder to have your joints be achy and maybe be a little bit heavier than you want to than it is to go for a walk? Or,
We always feel better after it's done. Because sometimes I got to pep talk myself to get to the gym. Honestly, I think, "Oh, I don't want to go to the gym." And then I say to myself, Valerie, you are going to feel so much better. Just get your butt there. Even if you do nothing, just go. And I always go and I always do something. And I always, always, always feel better after the workout or the
yeah, and
walk, whatever.
right? Like walking really does that for me. It's a mental health game more than anything, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. We did skip number 4, though. So I want to
Oh,
circle back
okay.
because I feel like this is such a good one.
The biggest one. Okay, number 4 is stress. So let's make it number 5 now. It is stress. Excuse me. Internal stress and external stress. We usually think of stress as external, right? Like all the things needing doing and all the things coming at us. But your body can be internally stressed as well. Like I know a lot of people that are like, no, yeah, I'm super chill, but like they're still feeling stuff, right? So the internal stresses that can be in your body are as simple as like food intolerances, or it could be parasites, it could be candida overgrowth, mold overgrowth. any, any toxicity at all in your body is a stress. So looking at internal stresses and external stresses, stress is king. You can be eating all the organic food and drinking all the filtered water you want. But if you can't control the stress, it runs your body. It runs your body. So it's really important to keep coming back to that parasympathetic nervous system. And that's also why I say coming back to presence as well does help that. And just finding ways that manage your stress. And that's different for everybody. Maybe it's reading. Maybe it is a big workout for you. Maybe it's meditation. Maybe it's breath work. Maybe it's catching up with a friend. Maybe it's going to bed early. I don't like it. You just have to figure that out for you and experiment with things. And when I'm working with people, this is a space where a lot of people say they need to explore it more. And it does need exploring, right? It's not something I can just tell you to do because some people don't get off on meditation. It just doesn't work for them. So even though I think it's wonderful, it's there's a time and a place.
Yeah, I love that you said it's different for everyone because we are all so different, right? And being able to customize that for you and recognize that through the practice of presence is super helpful. For myself, I need 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night. I am not a nice person the next day, and it just domino effects from there. It's not a good look. And you know what? I have some pretty great sleep hygiene, and I also have some pretty great sleep boundaries. And my phone is on airplane mode. As much as my phone is my alarm, it is on airplane mode. It goes off an hour before bed. It For sleep for me, I sleep with an eye mask and earplugs, and you can call me crazy if you want to, but it's so important for me and from how I function and how I can show up and be present with people and in these types of conversations as well. And you know, people do make fun of me sometimes for going to bed so early, or like I said, the sleep mask and the earplugs, but they don't know this version of me that doesn't get sleep. And I'm sure if they did, they would be handing me the eye mask and the earplug the next time. Yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
Anywhere in between, lately it's been between 9 and 10:30. We were away in Europe, so I am getting over the jet lag, but I try to be in bed and asleep by 10. But that's people think that's early, so I think that's a reasonable size.
You know that none of us are meant to be night owls or the optimal bedtime for your cortisol level, like your cortisol dips by 10 o'clock and you want to hit that sleep zone. And then your cortisol naturally rises around 6 a.m. So that's your 8 hour. That's a perfect 8 hour window for everybody. There's no such thing as night owls. That's a dysfunctional sleep pattern. 10 to 6 is ideal. If you need a
Love
bit
it.
longer, go longer in the morning or go to bed a little bit earlier. But you're doing the right thing.
Thank you. One of my Pilates clients, she said something years and years and years ago. She said, always go to bed the same day that you wake up. And that has forever changed my life
Oh,
because I was a little bit of a party animal. And that really helped me start sleeping earlier, going to bed earlier because we would be out for all hours of the night. And honestly, nothing good happens in any of those times. And like you said, optimal sleep, just go to bed earlier. Your
it's
body
like,
and your life will thank you.
especially when you hit your 30s. I mean, your 20s, you can kind of get away with it, do whatever. But come 30, it
Yeah,
feels a little different.
just a little.
I should have had sleep in these tips because you can't heal without sleep. You can't heal without sleep. You can't function without sleep. It is super important. Let's let that be your bonus.
Okay, we'll put it as a bonus.
Okay, number 6. Number 6 was a health coach, and by that, I just mean somebody that knows more than you, that you connect with, that you know will help you balance out your body. And the importance of that is because we need better energy in the world, and we need people knowing how good that they can feel because things just become normal, and that's your normal way of feeling, but it's not normal. We need you to feel optimal and heightened. We need you to bring that energy with you and shower it all over the people around you in the world because it only does good, right? And so my coach says like every home needs a health coach. And if there was one, like that's his, that's his goal is to have a health coach in every home so that we can lift the energy of the world and just do good and be educated for our own bodies, right?
100%. And I want to circle back to something you said near at the beginning when you were describing your story, how you built your health team. You had to find the people that you wanted to work with. And this is part of the journey is finding someone, whoever that is for you, who can help you, who can support you, who can cheer you on through those times of exploration when you are trying to figure out what works for you. Because like I said, just even following you, I've learned so many things and I'm screenshotting your recipes and I'm, asking questions and I practice this and I do health coaching and I'm still learning and I'm still growing and I'm still, having people like you on the podcast to share because even if this episode or this podcast just helps one person
Yeah.
create one of these wonderful tips that you shared with us today, like that is going to create a ripple effect into all other areas of their life and hopefully and possibly in their community as well. So all of this is so wonderful.
I love the ripple effect. And honestly, every client I have says, like, now their partner does this, or their sister, or their mom, or whatever. There's always a ripple. So anybody that you can help get any bit better, there's always a ripple. I feel like we need that.
Absolutely.
Number 7, I have emotions. Now, I feel actually, even this morning, I just witnessed a man who I know tell us some very is going through a very deep thing and has a friend that's going through something very deep. And he cried at the thought of it. And it brought back everything that he had been through. And then he was like, sorry, this medication, this is an older man. And so he said, the medication I'm on, it makes me more emotional than I normally am. And I said, I think that's great because all this stuff that you normally just push down, you get to feel it now. And then you get it out of your body. And what's wrong with feeling it? What's wrong? You're telling me something very big. It makes me feel emotional. Why shouldn't you be? I think there's just like with emotions, there's nothing wrong with them, right? We're meant to feel them. We're meant to let them come through our body. There's nothing wrong. And even especially with women with anger, there's a big space in there that's like women can't be angry. We're not supposed to show anger. What do we do with that? I think it's so important to figure out what can you do with it so that you're not holding on to it. Same with crying, same with even just being excited. We just like push these things down and down. Well, they live in our body, right? And they are a part of what makes us unwell. So releasing emotion, make that be normal, make that be healthy.
Yes. So much yes. I am feeling a little bit under the weather today. And I know emotions are playing a big part of that. And so going back to all like a bunch of things that we're talking about today, I have rejigged my schedule a bit so that I can prioritize sleep better. It's a beautiful sunny day. It is freezing cold here right now, but I do plan on going for a walk after this and implementing these things. Like we said, it's so easy. And because I'm not feeling so amazing today, it would be very easy for me not to do. I know that even just a short walk for me will make me feel better. But also, I have been taking some time to sit with those emotions. And so it's quite interesting how deeply connected our body is to all the parts of each other. So, and it doesn't this awareness doesn't happen overnight. It's been years of me connecting to my body and deepening that presence with myself, but gotta let things go. Let talking to
I
myself.
even love that.
Yeah.
I love that, you said to me this morning, like, I'm actually not feeling the best. I was like, great. But, like, thanks for telling me because you could have just showed up, being like, and then again, like just putting it under the carpet rather than recognizing it and just getting through it. Like you need to have a cry today to be like, great, just do it,
Thank you. I appreciate you holding space for me like that. It's very it's nice because I feel like there are a lot of people who want to express themselves but aren't sure where they feel safe to do that because there is a vulnerability, right? There is this unfortunately the society that we live in, especially for men, doesn't quote unquote allow us to feel publicly. And maybe this is my own upbringing, but it was always like drink some water, wipe your tears, wash your face, get on with your day kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I've got to say, a lot of that has changed for me. And to be able to openly say to whoever I'm with and say, hey, I'm going through something right now. I'm really excited to be here with you, but I want you to know that I'm feeling uneasy or I'm grieving. Because honestly, from what I've learned, this last month has been a bit of a whirlwind, we'll call it. Two things can be true. You can be incredibly devastatingly sad and grieving, while at the same time being excited for the day and for the community that you're with. That you can hold space for two of those things, and you can allow those feelings to move through you. And it is quite a beautiful thing when you sit with where you're at. And for myself, I am going through some grieving and it's coming in waves. And I feel that my body not feeling optimal today is just another reminder that even though the waves are quieting, you still need to look after yourself. You still need to go through the motions. You still need to ride the waves. And my body is helping me slow down to recognize this. So, yeah,
Yeah.
these are so incredible.
Mm. And also, like when you speak your truth, it allows others to speak their truth, right? And then the connection with the people around you is deeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. You get are those tips helpful?
These are amazing, and I'm so excited for all 7 of them. Is there anything that hasn't been said today that you wanna add before we get into our last part of our show?
I have like one more bonus one, if you
Let's
want me
do
to
it.
share.
We love the bonuses. Let's do it.
Okay. The bonus is mindset. And mindset is so powerful, right? You can think yourself into sickness, you can think yourself into health. And I the main thing about this is like act like you already have what you desire. In your head, act like instead of like when we're working together, I need you to tell me I'm not sleeping, I'm not whatever. But then after that, I say go forward, say I am sleeping. If anybody else asks you, do you sleep at night? Yeah. They sleep really well at night. Like you almost need to convince your body and your mind that you are doing this thing for it to be able to follow your words.
I'm so glad you said this because specifically with sleep too, I forget what podcast I heard this on, but someone on the show was saying that their New Year's resolution was to stop saying that they're bad sleepers. And almost overnight, pun intended, their sleep habit changed completely. And all of a sudden, they could sleep amazing, but they stopped saying, I'm a horrible sleeper or I'm a terrible sleeper. That's the
Your
only thing they
body's
did.
listening.
It's
Your body's
crazy.
yeah, right?
Mm,
When my kids aren't well, like I never say like you're sick. You're really sick right now. I just say your body's healing right now. It's doing all the things it needs to do right now to get you better. It's doing a really good job, instead of telling them you're sick, you're sick. It's your healing. It's just being conscious of the words you use because your body is listening.
mhm. Not to get too witchy and woolly, but I call them spells when we say things like that, or when we say, yeah, let's do it. When we cast spells on ourselves, like when we say, "Oh, I get sick every year," or "I get sick once a year." You are literally making yourself sick every year because you say that.
Yeah. Your words hold a lot of power. Your energy hold a lot of power. And I know like when you're in the depths of healing, it really just feel like total shit. Trying to like a lot of, many people say like, I can't just fake it. I can't just fake it. I'm like, you don't need to be like this bubbly, bursting, whatever. All you need to do is just say, I'm getting better. I am healing. I'm sleeping, I'm eating well, I'm moving my body. I am.
I love that. Thank you so much for all of these incredible tips today. I am very excited for this episode to go live as people are listening to this now. Please let us know where we can find you, where we can follow you, how we can support you in your business.
Okay. I'm only on Instagram. It's Jess Kirby underscore youth dot element. And then my website, jesskirby.com. And if you want to work with me, just head to my website, book a connection call, and we can talk about what you're going through. There's no obligation in that. It's honestly just to connect because it's important for me to feel that we're a good team going forward as much as it is for you. And then we just take it from there.
Amazing. And as I mentioned, I'm going to link to all of this in the show notes page for everyone at valerielivinglife.com/Jess. Okay, my friend, there is one more part of the show. It is the rapid fire round. We have 4 questions. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Amazing. Question number 1 is, what are you currently reading, or what is your favorite book?
I'm currently reading The Hormone Cure by Sarah Gottfried, and it's thick. And I've read it back to back several times, and I'm just like ingraining it into my brain because I work to help women with hormones a lot. And it's complicated.
Yeah, no kidding. I've done some research on it, but I'm going to add that book to my list as well in the show notes page.
Really good. It's like the
Yes.
Bible for hormones. I love all of her work.
Okay, great. Good to know. Good tip. Question number 2 is, what does empowerment mean to you?
Ooh, feeling aligned with your gut and being able to carry out your biggest desires.
Great answer. Question number 3 is, what is your longest standing habit?
Ooh, I have so many. Which one which one has been around the longest? Eating whole foods. Dry brushing would be a second. Tongue scraping would be a third.
Wow. Question number 4 is, what are you currently working toward?
I am, this is a bit more personal, I guess. I'm working towards not doing it all in my house. Working toward enabling my partner to do things and for him to fail and it to be okay. And for me not to have to do everything because I've chosen it that way, not because the help's not been there. It's just like I tend to take over. So yeah, I'm working on receiving help.
Oh, that's great. I love that for you. Exciting.
I just think it's exciting too.
Yeah. This has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much for sharing your deep wisdom with us today. I really want to take a second to acknowledge all of the work that you've done for yourself, for your family, and how you show up for your community as well. It is an absolute pleasure to have you as someone who I like to call a friend, and also someone who I've now been able to share your story with on the podcast. So thank you so much for everything. And I look forward to seeing how you receive the support that you so deserve, I want to say. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. Thanks everybody for listening. This has been awesome.